In the amazing world of Gumball, there are over 30 characters who only appeared once. And today, we're diving into what happened to every single one of them. Let's begin with Chi-Chi, Rabid, and their parents, who only showed up in the episode The Copycats, where the creators directly called out Miracle Star, a Chinese knockoff of the show. These characters are introduced when Gumball and Darwin run into them in the tropical food aisle at the store. After realizing they're mimicking everything they do, Aeneas comes up with a brilliant plan to start doing dangerous things so the copycats get scared and back off. But things spiral out of control, and the Wattersons end up inside a burning fuel truck about to explode. Thankfully, Aeneas unhooks the trailer just in time. The imitators, lacking a smart little sister, aren't so lucky. They plunge off an unfinished road and go up in flames with their truck. Moving on to Chimera, who made his one and only appearance in the episode The Friend. It's Aeneas' birthday, and nobody shows up to her party. Her brothers want to cheer her up, so they help her create an imaginary friend. And surprisingly, it works. Chimera comes to life. He turns out to be the perfect match for Aeneas, socially awkward and totally bizarre. But the celebration ends abruptly when they realize he's not imaginary. He's a real guy who breaks into people's homes looking for companionship. The police surround the house, but the kids won't give him up. They set up traps, Home Alone style, and fight off the officers. When Donut Cop threatens to bring in Nicole, Chimera gives up and explodes using Coke and Mentos. But don't worry, he later rebuilds himself and says goodbye to Aeneas. Honestly, I hope he comes back someday. Aeneas could really use a friend. Then we've got Chris Morris, the school hamster who has never left his cage. In The Burden, Gumball and Darwin are put in charge of him over the weekend. At first, they find him ugly and boring, but they soon change their minds when they see how awesome he really is. Gumball even impresses Penny by showing his love for animals. Darwin, meanwhile, finds comfort in Chris Morris while crying alone in the park after Gumball ditched him on a date. The twist? The hamster they were taking care of wasn't Chris Morris. It was just a chunk of Principal Brown's waxed hair. The real Chris was left alone at school all weekend. When the boys rush to save him, they find that Chris actually escaped and doesn't want to go back. After a wild chase through the school, he helps them hide from the cops, and the boys decide to let him live out the rest of his life free. He was never seen again. Howdy, Frank! And Grady made their single appearance in the episode The Puppets, where Gumball and Darwin dig through old toys in the attic. Gumball says he's too grown up to play with toys, but Darwin secretly starts playing with the puppets. They soon become sentient and furious about being abandoned. After destroying Gumball's game console, they drag Darwin into a surreal puppet world. Gumball follows him by putting on the Grady puppet, only to be betrayed. But Gumball and Darwin don't go down without a fight. They unravel the imaginary puppet world and escape, defeating the villains. However, the real puppets survive and are later sold at a yard sale. They've never reappeared since. In the episode The Vacation, we meet the scary old man and lady. During a road trip through the desert, the Wattersons tell spooky stories, annoying Nicole. She makes up her own. A tale of a family stranded in the desert, taken in by a creepy man and his mom, who end up eating them. Suddenly, their car breaks down for real, and just like in her story, a toothless man and his mother arrive to help. Although they look sketchy, they're actually kind and generous. The old man even gets abducted by a mutant desert monster. Poor guy. Jealousy is a literal embodiment of that emotion, introduced in The Flower. Gumball gets jealous when Penny hugs Leslie, and under jealousy's influence, he becomes obsessed with tearing them apart, nearly killing Leslie. Carrie performs an exorcism with Darwin, Penny, and Leslie, but jealousy jumps from person to person, causing chaos. Eventually, Gumball learns that Penny and Leslie are cousins, not a couple. The revelation wipes out jealousy completely. In The Virus, Gumball hasn't washed his hand in months because Penny touched it, and a civilization of microbes, led by Virus, has formed there. When Terry forces him to wash it, everyone dies except Virus. Enraged, he tries to kill Gumball, Darwin, and Terry. Eventually, Gumball challenges him to a one-on-one, tricks him into revealing himself, and casually squashes him. Frank Kreese from The Sweaters is a wild character. Gumball and Darwin try to prove they're tough to a new girl, Sarah, and end up challenged to a duel by rival school kids. Initially reluctant, they accept because Gumball wants to impress Penny. They're shocked to learn the duel is just a tennis match. Frank instructs Carlton to hurt Gumball during the match, and he ends up in the school hospital. But eventually, even the rival team admits they're hardcore. In The Plan, Daniel Leonard appears to be a mystery man trying to steal Nicole's heart, or so the kids think. They plot to confront him and find out. It's not a guy at all. Daniel Leonard is just an anti-aging cream brand. Case closed. Chicken Bucket, from The Law, is a minor character who ends up as a hostage when Felicity Parm steals an ice cream truck. She's triggered by seeing Gumball jaywalking, which Donut Cop was supposed to stop. Thankfully, Donut Cop saves Chicken Bucket and regains his badge. New Bobbert, a sleeker, black version of Bobbert, shows up in The Upgrade. After Bobbert downloads a system update and begins malfunctioning, the boys try to revert him, but are given a new model instead. They eventually rescue the original Bob Air and restore his old system in a dramatic mid-air installation. In the mirror, the Snatcher sends Gumball a chain email warning of doom unless he forwards it. He ignores it, and his money, friends, and family vanish. With Carrie's help, he defeats the Snatcher using a special potion. Peace is restored. The troll appears in The Sorcerer, when Gumball tries to learn magic from Miss Jotunheim. After doing chores for her, he disobeys her and opens a forbidden door, releasing a troll that eats Darwin. Gumball defeats the monster using the most annoying behavior imaginable. Athel and Bernie Clean, a pair of elderly goat tourists, show up in the ad. Richard rents the house to them after wasting the family's money on a horse, and the Wattersons pretend to be on vacation while secretly living in the attic. When the goats catch Nicole and Richard in their bed, they get paralyzed from fear. Nicole fakes travel photos to trick them, but the ruse falls apart when they realize they were pretending to be a romantic couple, even though they're siblings. They leave without paying rent. Mr. Grubber, from The Package, is a postal worker who refuses to give Richard his puzzle piece because of postal rules. He starts playing games with him, hiding the package, setting time limits, and making things ridiculous. In the end, Richard just orders a new one. I'd say he won that round. Azrael, Carrie's ex-boyfriend, makes 2 brief appearances in The Drama, once during her date with Darwin and again in the cemetery. Fuzzy, Gumball's childhood best friend, returns in The BFFs. Darwin suspects something's off, and rightly so. Fuzzy plans to kidnap Gumball and take him to Minnesota. Darwin saves him with a shovel, but Fuzzy, a robot, reboots and resumes the chase, until his other former best friend, Hank, shows up to stop him. Lastly, we have Antoine from The Recipe, where Gumball and Darwin try to recreate Anton using a resurrection recipe. Antoine turns out unstable and evil, leading a toast army to attack. Gumball defeats him by throwing him into the pool. And those are all the one-time characters I could find in the amazing world of Gumball. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you clearly enjoyed it. So why not hit that subscribe button? And while you're at it, click on the video right here on the screen. I promise, you're gonna love it.